All right, welcome to Lab 10. This is a Kevin Bacon lab. So I have been to Brightspace, downloaded my files from this link, and put them in my Week 10 folder, my Unit 10 folder. And now I have opened that folder in Visual Studio Code. I'm going to review what we have here. This is the index file. You'll notice that I also have in my images folder, inside an extras folder, I have something called Kevin Bacon Final Result. This is what it should look like. I will double my screen here so that we can have the index on one side and the final result on another side. I'll close my Explore menu to get a little more real estate. And now let's review what we have here. We've got an empty header tag, and below that is the nav tag. This is the navigation area, so we can assume that empty header tag is for this logo. Below the navigation, we've got an unordered list, and in that list we have these 4 links, which we will use the float property to get side by side. Then we have a div here called subhead, which below the navigation you can see that will be for this image. And then I have an HTML5 container called main, which will hold all of this. I've broken the main into 2 sections. The first one is called section. The second one is called aside. In these 2 containers, I've got an H1 for the first one and an H2 for the second one. You can see here the H1 and the H2. I note that these are H tags, but they are not bold. So I will add the font weight normal to them. I also notice that the H1 is all caps. So there is a CSS rule for that as well, because it's not all caps here. So I'll have to add that to the CSS. This here is lorem ipsum that was generated from a generator called baconipsum.com. You'll also be able to see hipster ipsum, cupcake ipsum, zombie ipsum, and pirate ipsum if you care to look those things up. At the bottom of the section area, I've got this button, which you can see is going to be a live link to get more information. And in the second section called Aside, Most Popular Films, I've got 4 images. And then we have a footer with a black background and gray text. Also, in the CSS, you'll see I've got normalize and styles, and they are both attached right here. In the styles.css, I've got a lot of comments. I've got the universal selector here, and I've added box sizing border box so that if I create a width for my containers, they won't be affected by any padding or borders. I've also got this hacky looking clearfix class. You see the dot there, so you know it's a class. I'll show you how to use that. I've also got this rule that is commented out. We'll make it live in a while. And same with this rule. It's commented out, but we'll make it live during the tutorial. And I'll ask you to place your styles below this line. The next video will discuss this kevinbacon.fig file that is in the extras folder as well.